Good morning, everybody. I'm just turning on my lights so you can see me. Happy Wednesday. This is Erin Harrigan. I am your Hustle with Heart coach and your Healthy Living coach with Armand, and I'm coming to you with our daily dose of success God's way. I'm coming to you in the raw because I've just spent probably the last hour and a half in the Word and meditating on the Word. And before we dive into this next piece on the roadblocks to success from this Bible study that we've been going through. Yesterday we covered the roadblock of doubt. And here's one of the things that I love about this calling that God has given me to be his vessel for this message of success God's way and building a coaching business around that as an extension of my Arbonne health and wellness business, is that I'm going through this at the same time that I'm sharing it. And I love that because it's humbling to know that I don't know everything. And so I'm coming to you humbly and vulnerably with our daily dose today to say that yesterday we tackled the roadblock of nagging doubt, and how funny that this roadblock showed up for me this morning. And here's what I mean by that. It has been really clear to me for a while that God has called me in this direction. And yet I still have doubt. And it's so crazy to have that doubt, because what I know, and I've personally experienced, is that when we wait on the Lord, not wait and not take action, but when we wait on the Lord to show us his will, and by the way, he delights in showing you his will. He delights in that, you guys. And when I am obedient to following what he puts in front of me to do, or the people to talk to, or whatever, he blesses it every single time. He doesn't bless it the way I think he should bless it. So if I take action in my Arbonne business, yes, he will bless that. Good morning, Robin. But I really see him showing up and blessing other areas of my life. So this morning I woke up with doubt, and I just was like, Lord, I know that you've called me in this direction. I know that you've called me to be your vessel, and I am humbled and honored and privileged to be your vessel for this message of success God's way. But am I worthy of that, Lord, when I'm not at such and such level in this business, in my Arbonne business, and can I really speak from experience around this? And Lord, what is it, and where do you want me to take this? And at the same time, I very often see him showing up blessing my biotech consulting, even though I've been obedient, in my Arbonne business or in my Hustle with Heart coaching. And the thing is that he allows those moments for me to realize that in my humanness, I am going through the challenges that my fellow God-centered entrepreneurs are going through, so that I can provide a glimpse into what his insight looks like in my life that is real for those who are tuning in and watching the Daily Dose, or who are part of our Success God's Way community, or tuning into my YouTube channel. So I just wanted to vulnerably share that with you guys this morning, that the daily surrender and the working through these roadblocks to success, it's not like you work it and you check it off and you move on. No, you guys, it is daily. But rest assured that if you are leaning into him and you are really letting this be about the work he's doing in and through you, then you will see how he shows you where he wants you to go. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that provides some inspiration for you this morning as well. So today we're tackling the roadblock of excuses, and this is a big one, and I'm just gonna call out the elephant in the room, which is everybody's busy, guys. Everybody's busy. And you hear it all the time. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's what we do with those 24 hours that matters. So we often wear busyness as a badge of honor, to say, yes, I'm so busy. I just can't fit one more thing into my life. And you guys, that's a statement of priorities, and sometimes we use it as an excuse. So I just want to get real with you there. I do it myself Good morning, Erlene. But sometimes we use that as an excuse. But here's what Dr. Stanley says about the roadblock of excuses as a roadblock to success God's way. Excusitis is an infection of self-justifications and excuses that take root and rots away at a person's desire to pursue godly goals. It's the habit of offering excuses at every turn for not doing what we know we should do. It is the cornerstone of the blame game, in which we make ourselves feel better about our failure to pursue godly goals, blaming other people, blaming conditions or situations, or even blaming our own weaknesses and failures. So in Matthew 25, verses 24 and 25, Jesus shares a parable about a rich man who went on a journey and entrusted his wealth to 3 servants. So this is the parable of the talents. So if you don't know this story, again, it's in Matthew 24, verses 24 and 25. So he had 3 servants, and he gave each of those servants a certain amount of talent. And talent is in this is a unit of money. So to one he gave 5 talents, to one he gave 2 talents, and to one he gave 1 talent. When he returned, he found that the first 2 servants, the one that he had given 5 talents and 2 talents, had doubled that money in his absence. The third servant, however, got into excusitis. So he started giving excuses. Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered it. I was afraid. So I went and hid your talent in the ground, and what you have there is yours. So he did not do anything with the talent that was given to him. So the servant attempted to blame his master for his failure to do anything with the wealth that had been entrusted to him. The master called the servant wicked and lazy and took the talent from him and gave it to the one who had produced 10 talents. So the first one who had doubled. So what is the point? The point here is that overcoming excuses, good morning, Gina, is really what God is calling us to. He's calling us to be in relationship with others who will hold us accountable, who will hold us to our highest standards and to our highest potential. They support, and the support and prayers of others are an encouragement to us, and they provide a reality check. You know, the Bible calls for us to lift each other up and to admonish each other. And in leadership class that I'm in at church, we talked about admonishment last night, and that admonishment is really caring enough to call somebody out on it, caring enough to show them, no, actually, this is the direction you're going. You're saying you're going this way, but you're not. And it's also using the word to ensure that people are adhering to God's direction, but also that they're using the word appropriately. So as Matthew 25:24 says about this parable of the 3 servants and the talents, again, what this servant was doing was really blaming the master and saying, listen, I was afraid, so I didn't do anything with this that you gave me. So I went and I hid it, and here it is back to you. And you guys, the thing is that God gives us gifts, and he equips us for what he's called us to, but we don't want to waste that. We don't want to waste the gifts that he's giving us. We don't want to waste his call on our life. And if we're making excuses for why we can't do something, then we're wasting that call. We're wasting those gifts. And I'm just raising my hand, as I do every day when I come to you guys and say, I live this too, you guys. I live this too. I can make up a million excuses of why I didn't call this client or follow up on that lead, or I can make a million excuses to not be here live every day to share this with you. But you guys, if we're making the excuses, that is a huge roadblock to pursuing success God's way. So here's what I want you to think about. And this is kind of the questions that Dr. Charles Stanley poses to us. How did the third servant, the one who did nothing with the talents, how did the third servant's views of his master lead him to failure? And how can our concept of God lead us into success or failure. So I just want you to think about that today. I would love for you to share vulnerably what are some of the excuses that you use or that you've heard, to be able to share that out loud. If you're not comfortable sharing that here, then head on over to our Success God's Way community. It is a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are seeking to pursue success God's way, build a God-centered business that honors Him and serves His people. Get over there and share, because that's an encouraging environment where we're supporting each other and holding each other accountable into what it means to pursue success God's way. And then lastly, again, as I say, all the time, if you need help, if you've hit a wall, if you've had success but you feel stuck, or maybe you've had success and your business has gone backwards a little bit, you guys, I've lived it, and that is truly why God has called me to be His vessel for this message, and that is the impetus for the Hustle with Heart program, helping entrepreneurs align results with God's truth. And I'd love the opportunity to chat with you and see if being your coach is the right fit for both of us. So that's it for your Wednesday, your Wisdom Wednesday. I wish you all a fantastic day and no excuses today. All right. Let's promise each other that. Okay. See ya.